The minute. Sorry, so 6:03, we'll start. Go through again. Okay, so Elaine Breslow.
Present.
Okay, Mary Lou Lauren,
Present.
Carolyn Coffey. Here. Megan Princey's not here, Steve Brown.
Here.
Alex Viteri, Brooke Jewel, I'm here. And then we have Ron Wynn and Angela. Did everyone have a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah, I can't, they won't let me pull it up.
Motion to approve the minutes. Excellent job, Angela, as always.
Second.
I'm gonna start over.
Okay, so approved.
All in
All in favor? Aye. Come on, like a cheat sheet, really, all in favor. Okay. So we'll go on to the director's report.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you.
I apologize in advance if I'm a little scattered. There has been a lot going on, as you can see. We have 3 projects that we've been talking about for years, all happening in the same week. And my son is getting married on Sunday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My middle son called me yesterday to say, he lives in Seattle, by the way. He broke his arm in multiple places. He has to have surgery and he's not sure if he's gonna be able to come. So it's like a lot going on. Yes. So I will do my best, but it's, my head is a little bit full. And the other thing, before I forget, I'm not sure if everyone has heard, but the town health agent, Pam Fahey, passed away.
Oh.
Pam Fahey,
Oh my God.
yeah, it was, well, she was in a bicycle accident. I believe it was Saturday. And just passed away, either late Monday or Tuesday.
Where
So-
was the details?
Where was?
Yeah, the bucket.
I don't have a lot of details, but I understand that she had a heart attack, and I don't know if that's what caused the accident or after the accident, so was deprived of oxygen. So, there is going to be a service, I believe it is the 20th of September in Hanover. And I don't have any more, time or any of that sort of information, but I just wanted to let everyone know. There's I think she worked for the town for 8 years, and there's some people she worked at a town hall that were very close to her. I remember her as, getting us through the pandemic, setting up those vaccination clinics and running all that. And she was a really steady hand, so, we'll certainly miss her. But just wanted to let everyone know that. It is sad, and so sudden, so very upsetting. But let's move on. They started digging this morning for the pavilion, so we're super excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a really, everyone should congratulate, everyone has had a hand in it, and so, yes, everyone pat on the back. Really, really exciting. And, we purchased a time-lapse camera and we just attached it today.
good
out
idea.
there. So we're gonna get, sort of, the ongoing filming of what's happening, and then we'll post it. We're gonna use that for other things as well, and it seemed like kind of a fun thing to have. So I believe the timing is still about the same. Should finish up early December, and then in the spring they will put the seat down. So that's as of right now, barring any unforeseen issues.
Did they put in the seat down? I'm sorry.
In the spring,
In the
so they
spring.
won't do, they'll do everything else, and then in the spring, they'll put the seat down, so. That's great, and at the same time, I got a call that the carpet in the children's room is ready to go in. So we are gonna be closing the children's room as of Monday. They are also at the same time gonna redo the ceiling tiles and replace all of those, and also there's some floor tiling in the story room. They're gonna do that as well, so. It's a little bit overwhelming because it's going to mean moving everything, all the books, the shelves, furniture, everything out of that room.
Be great to get it all done at once, though.
But it's great, you're totally right, I agree, and if they're gonna do it and pay for it, I'm saying yes, and we'll make it work. So, we're gonna close the room as of Monday and Tuesday, we're gonna work on moving everything out as best we can. And then the ceiling work starts on Wednesday, so.
Do you want?
Do you want
a
volunteers?
sign?
I was just gonna
For us
say,
to
if
help?
anyone is free on Monday or Tuesday, they're gonna have pallets, we have to put all the books on the pallets, then they're gonna move those into the West Wing. We're currently in negotiations with Recreation about how much of the West Wing we can use, and it's not gonna go down that path right now, but we will make it work, and then they're gonna move the shelving out as well, so.
What
Um,
hours would you need people, like people after?
I
school?
mean, really any time,
10 to 8.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have it.
I was actually also gonna speak to Nicole and see if there's any safe harbor teenagers who wanted to work
Yeah.
after school and get some volunteer hours. And
Or the
ask the
honor
friends as well.
society
But
people.
there might be, yeah, there might be some kids that are free in the afternoon.
You just gotta be super organized so that you can find everything at the end of the day.
Exactly, and that is putting everything back in the same order is really gonna be important. We're doing something called shadowing the collection or most of the collection so that people will not be able to place holds on the items that are in boxes or in pallets. I'm still brainstorming, but I think we're gonna have a little children's area, temporary children's area in front of the young adult room with some shelving for small collections, that they can at least get something if they come, so.
Because how long are you anticipating?
It's about 2 weeks, they thought,
Okay.
so the ceiling they thought was about 3 days. And then the carpeting, 3 days or so. And
And we have
then
to put
up both
everything
the
back.
front, and then we had to put it back.
Where are they gonna put like the dump truck to remove the ceiling tile and all that as it's happening?
I haven't heard anything about that part of it,
Good
that's a very good question, I don't know.
You
I
know,
don't
because
know.
it's obviously limited space.
We're
Here,
running
to
out
begin
of-
with.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much,
And are they gonna be
Yeah.
running all that stuff in and out of the main door by the parking lot, so we have to use Ripley Road for the public?
I don't know. They hadn't discussed that with me.
Yeah.
We had a long meeting today about, the other logistics, but they didn't really talk too much about the ceiling part of it. When we were talking about the carpeting, we did talk about, we're gonna have ITs coming Monday to move all the computers out. And so we're gonna, that will be, don't have to worry about, something falling down on them. But that I will ask them, I'm sure I'll be speaking to facilities a number of times in the next 2 days, so I'll ask them how they're planning on bringing everything in. There is the back way to come in, there's that other door, that they could use.
That's
and go in that way.
Although it's not as wide.
It's
um,
not as wide, and these are,
it doesn't
so
have the
the
automatic-
ceiling, the tiles they have now are discontinued, and they've been trying to, they don't like the tiles at all, and they're trying to get rid of them, so they have these extra larger tiles that look nicer that they're gonna
Great.
swap out, so. We'll make it work, but I will check about how they'll get them in.
So today's
and out.
the 10th, and you're saying
Yes.
that the room will be closed starting the 15th, which
Yes.
is Monday,
Mhm.
and it'll be closed to the 26th or 28th. I guess whatever.
No, more than that.
Reopening the
Whatever
29th,
the-
No, 2
Yeah.
weeks.
15th through the 26th would be, or the 29th would be this 2-week
Will
mark.
be 2
Yeah.
weeks, yeah.
Do you have anything on the website to like?
That's what
We
I'm.
do, and actually, Ashley was talking to Central Site OCLN today about the shadowing situation, and they said they can do a email text blast to everyone that we have on our list saying, just so you know, the children's room will be closed, and which will be great because there's we have other people from other libraries use the children's room quite a bit, and so it's a way to reach the larger population.
And are you suspending like Mama Steph and all those things?
Some of the programming will still go on, but in the meeting room.
In the
meeting room.
in the meeting?
Yeah, so September is a lighter month for programming for children's, because we just found that, they're just starting school,
Mhm.
it's hard to get anyone to come in, so we did have some programming, and I wish we had had more notice with this, which really just came up a few days ago. We had been talking about it for a long time, but getting a set date, was hard to pin down, so. We did have something scheduled, but we think we're gonna be able to accommodate it. So we'll still have some things, people can come in and we'll have this little area that if they. All the wonder books that everybody loves will be available and things like that, so.
So. This is, so sorry, the communication would go out hopefully the next day or two. And that would go. With our list as well as the overall,
I believe we
OCLN.
go to all OCLN, yeah,
and then so then we would be referring them potentially to go to Hull or Hingham or Situate.
yes, or that they can, if they place holds. They can get holds from other libraries will come here, so they can still have access to children's books, but they just have to place holds on that.
Thank you.
Unless it's something that we have, oh, sorry, I thought I had put that back down,
Um,
unless it's something that we are still gonna have available. Yeah, it's not, it will, our circulation will most likely go down a bit, but, yeah. It's once every 20 years.
no, it's all good news, it's all,
Yeah, it's just the logistics of it are a bit complicated, where we'll still be open. So people will be coming in and then expecting to be able to go in the children's room, but we've already started putting up some signage saying, this is coming. Once we have a set date, we'll notify everyone, so now we picked the date, and we're gonna change that. Let everyone know, so. Hopefully be a nice couple of weeks if they can use the playground and, and still come to our program, so. So that's that, that is, great news, and then they were also here today installing the security cameras. So those are going up as well, so that's really being run by IT. I don't have a lot of details as to when it will be up and running, and how it will even work, and hopefully we'll have some training on it, so. Oh, and the brickwork, I think, will be starting. What did he say? Hopefully in the next month or so?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, the last time, so
Let's get the carpet thing
I
done first,
feel that way
in
too.
case we need to use that entrance.
Yeah, I know, and that the reality of that is starting to hit, that's where our book drop is. What's gonna happen there? What about that whole entrance? It's so I think. The message I will share.
That sounds
is,
ambitious.
Let's wait a little,
Yeah.
I know he does wanna get it done, and maybe he's limited by weather, time of year and that kind of thing, but,
But
We-
you, actually, you could argue from an emergency exit perspective that they should
Yeah.
wait until this
Yeah.
exit is available,
yeah. I
truly.
know, we had the fire department came through today, this morning for their annual, or quarterly check, and that was before we found out about that door, so. But there are other exits around, but I hope that's not gonna be blocked off for too long, because, that's. Important exit, so. Yeah, moving on, well, the story walk is moving, it's the roving story walk is moving to Beechwood for they do a festival out there in the fall, and they asked if we could bring it out there. So it's
That's
gonna be
nice.
some good publicity for the library, and then it'll go straight from there to the pumpkin patch.
Are they gonna put it by the playground or where?
They're gonna have it in the triangle
Uh-huh.
across from the ball field. And then Sandra Perry is the one that is sort of spearheading this, and then they just decided they're gonna get someone to read the book. So we're gonna have it
Oh,
out,
fun.
and then they're gonna have a.
So who put those posts at it?
Facilities department does that, so to
Okay.
write a work order,
Okay,
and
okay.
Sandra sent me a little diagram of where they want it. I guess they're also doing a touch a truck out there as well, so there'll be a whole lot of things going on in the fall.
Have you had, what sort of feedback have you had from Story Walk? And is there any way to, I don't know how you do it, but provide something that someone that's reading it could take home with them that might stimulate further interest in the library?
I mean, well, we do, if, depending on how long the book is, we do put in our newsletter on the end of
Uh-huh.
the thing, open to the children's programming, and things like that. I mean, people love it, and we used it this winter, with the Historical Society, and they put different things in it, so, which I think is a great idea, is to try to, you know, not just use it for children's books, but for other programming.
Crazy idea. What if you had some sort of an online contest for people that had been through it?
Yeah,
That could then, you know, point to some of the assets we have here in the
so
library.
the contest would be, what else do you want in there?
No,
Or
just,
would it be, what have you learned? from
Yeah,
it?
what have you learned? Here, see how well you've retained the information.
Of the book.
Yeah, and there'll be,
It's funny.
winners will get a chance to play, miniature golf here.
Yeah, for a miniature golf.
They're kind of geared for like the little kids though. like,
Yeah,
you know.
Okay,
well, we might use it, so we're kind of brainstorming, starting in January, doing something for a series of programming for the 250th
good.
anniversary, and we had talked about maybe, put in, work with the Historical Society, what Cohasset residents were in the Revolutionary
Yeah.
War, something like that, something a little bit different,
I did talk to Joy Shipman and she's happy to share with you
oh, okay, yeah,
their,
yeah,
you know, litany of.
yeah, I
programs
got
they
kind
got
of, I
from-
had to like
Mm.
put that aside a little bit with all this going on, but yeah, we're hoping to kind of have some fun things, maybe put a banner up with the.
She was the head of the 250 chair for
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the celebration of Cohasset's 250, which
Right.
would have been in 2020 and everything got
Everything-
canceled.
Right, well, I
everything
know
fell
I was
apart.
involved in
Yeah,
that
so.
too. Yeah.
That never made it to light.
Never made, your ideas never made it to light, yeah.
Well, we're open to
Sad.
any ideas, if anyone has anything they wanna throw our
Maybe
way,
it can
and
rebloom like a century flower.
they
or
can.
something.
Yes.
Yes.
And actually, as a side note, at the Friends meeting last week, they agreed to fund refurbishing the story walk, so the acrylics have gotten really damaged, and then there's backing pages that can be personalized, so we're gonna put some money into that and get them kind of spruced up a little bit, so it's.
I know this is nitpicky, but you know what, like, it irks me a little bit, I wish the stand was like spray painted black or white or just, or green or something, instead of like.
Okay, the
so it
wooden
looks like-
part?
Well,
Or
yeah, the wood, then
yeah.
it goes into like the Christmas tree stand, which
Yeah.
is like red and green.
Yeah.
And it's just like a small thing,
That's
but
it, yeah,
I don't
that's not a
know.
bad
You can get
idea,
like
yep.
high school kids to do it, so it's
If
just like
we're
looks so streamlined.
Since we're talking about the story walk and
Okay.
things like that, when we originally approved it, we approved it with the idea that it was gonna go around the back of the building.
Yeah.
Between the playground
Yeah.
and the parking lot. And I'm just wondering if there's any thought to moving it back there, you know, just from my personal perspective, it feels very cluttered out front.
Yeah,
When we have the Adirondack chairs and the story walk and everything else, and with the new pavilion and everything, it'd be nice to.
yeah, I mean, the
Keep the
reason
building.
it didn't go there was the ground.
But
It's,
that's because we were using posts. And
Yeah,
then when we,
But even with these, so we have little, they're about this long, they're for actually, trampoline stakes
Mhm.
Mhm.
that you,
Oh,
you have to
Oh, I see, yeah.
pound them into the ground,
Mhm.
up here even where there's grass, and there's sometimes you can't even get them in, the fill is so bad. I mean, it's worth looking into.
They won't stand up on their own, like on
They-
the sidewalk.
Well, just with the wind
Huh?
and
Isn't it like kind of at an angle?
Yeah, I just mean on the sidewalk. You know, if you put them on the sidewalk, since it's
Oh,
close to traffic, people
yeah.
can walk on the road.
I would want them, I think. Tethered in some way, just with the wind, because they have fallen over, that's why some of the acrylics are
Just-
damaged, but,
Just
Yeah.
the thought, you know, as far as
Yeah.
kind of decluttering the front of the building a little
I know,
bit,
and
I
that
think
was
it'd
really
be
sort of
just-
temporary, so the thing is, they used to come inside when they weren't being used, and then we would just have them at the pumpkin patch. Or along the sidewalk, and then we'd take them inside for a period of time. But now that they were being stored in the story room, and that is now back being used again, so there's really no place to put them, so they almost have to be moved regularly.
What about along the back part of the parking lot?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have,
Just a thought.
other locations, we just, at the time, we were like, let's just,
I mean, logically, it makes sense, right? Like it's from the library down to the playground to where
Yeah.
the
Well,
kids
that was the
play.
idea.
yeah, I
because
mean,
it-
that's a.
draw
I-
people
I-
back
I
and
love
forth.
the tie-in back there, I just,
Yeah.
you know, personal preference, I just, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, and I don't think was. I hate to have this on the recording, but I don't think facilities did a great job of spacing them well, and some are on the hill, and, you know, they were trying to work around the bike racks and things like that.
But
I look
again,
at them all
with the
day and
bike
I'm like,
racks
oh, why
and
is
the,
that?
and the,
Yeah.
and the railing and the Adirondack
Mhm.
chairs and the story, that there's just a lot going
Yeah.
on out there, and it's such a beautiful building, I feel like it detracts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So if there's,
So-
another option, it would be great.
yeah.
What's the
I
system that
agree.
goes, that it goes into the ground?
A Christmas tree.
Christmas
stand.
tree.
It's actually a Christmas tree.
It's a
stand.
Christmas tree stand, and then you use they look like staples.
Yeah,
They're like
they're just
giant
great,
staples
yeah.
that
The whole-
they hammer down to over the stand ring to keep it in place. I use them for my tomato stakes, that's for
Yeah,
my
they're pretty
tomato
sturdy,
cages.
yeah.
You
yeah,
know, that's
it
why I
was.
know.
Oh, I'll have to-
So the original, a lot of story walks are
Oh.
permanently in the ground. The Duxbury Library has one behind their library, and it's permanent stakes, and they just change out what's in there.
Well, I think
I
it's
think-
wonderful that
Yeah,
it's gonna move
It
to
was
other
a,
locations.
yeah,
and-
it was a great lemonade out of lemons,
Yeah.
and it's worked
Yeah.
out really well, and I do think it's great publicity for the library, and I'm happy that facilities is willing to, you know, move them
Right.
around for us.
But I agree, the
But
front
The
maybe
problem
not
is
the
when they're
best
not
spot
at a
for it.
location, I mean, last winter, they were for quite a while at the common.
Mhm.
Partly because the ground was frozen, and it's like, once it's there, it's, you know, hard to move it. And that was nice, so that they were, you know, at an off-site location, but when they're here. With this going on, we're more limited to
Yeah.
with space, but.
Osgood School would be another, yeah, that's what.
Where?
Osgood School would be another,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
preschools.
Actually, in front of Osgood, they
Yeah.
have that island there,
Yeah.
if you like.
Or
pulling in.
at the little park between the post office and the community center.
Hmm,
Yeah, right along there, was
Yeah.
a good spot.
Mhm.
Picture that.
Sorry, is this,
Yeah.
The community center.
Yeah, there's
have
that,
their next door to
park
each
that's got
other.
a sidewalk through it.
Oh, yeah, of course, right, yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, yeah,
So, anyway,
okay,
just a thought.
Yep.
Thank you.
thank you.
sorry, so, but just on that point, because everyone's suggesting a bunch of really cool things. Sounds like it needs to be updated. And there's a
What
system,
needs to be updated?
the actual, the system itself, the acrylics,
Device.
it just sounds like
Yeah.
there's a need for it to be upgraded.
It's, yeah,
And
Yeah,
what's
that's
the timeframe for that upgrade?
so we've already ordered the acrylics.
Oh, okay.
The backing, we haven't really worked on too much because we can personalize them, so that we're trying to. The friends said since they're gonna pay for it, they'd like to have their logo on it, so I have to get a good clean copy of their logo, we're gonna put the library logo. We just need to do some work on making it look nice, that kind of thing.
Okay. I mean, like, so it's insanity. In a million years, why would we put the Friends logo on it and why would they fund it? When you could actually sell a sponsorship that would pay for this, like like.
The friends are paying for it.
Out of funds that are coming, that are taking away from programming, as opposed to maybe selling a sponsorship for it, like, it seems
It's
like.
only a couple $100.
No, it's just out there's an opportunity to make more money, and we're fixing something, and we're using the dollars, we're thinking about it from a construction standpoint, like we always do, instead of thinking about it selling it, but, okay, it's
I
fine.
mean, I think part of it is we're not supposed to be selling it, that's not,
I know.
it's not, the library can't
It's-
do that.
I
So
get
it would
that.
have, so where it's. I think you're getting into murky waters of where it is a library.
No, I'm not saying the library should sell the sponsorship, that's my point.
But somebody could step forward, and the word could get out, and somebody could step forward like we did with Sunday Author Talks.
Sure, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah, but.
I mean, that's an important point. Maybe we can monetize something else somehow, but like, do we really want the back of these things to have like
Sponsored by.
Small,
a,
it doesn't,
whatever,
it
wishful
just needs to be
Yeah.
small, you
Yeah.
don't need to offer the whole thing,
Yeah,
but.
but
you
then
know.
if I'm a business,
Yeah.
is that gonna sell it to me?
I know for like, when we had this Sunday author talks, there were definitely businesses that sponsored. the
Just one,
talks.
just one,
I thought there was the,
There were two,
there
'cause
was a
Craig-
couple, the
yeah, the
insurance,
insurance,
yeah,
at
yeah,
the end,
And didn't have.
he did it
yeah.
at the end, yeah,
yeah.
but there
yeah.
were never two at the same time.
No,
But we had a few different sponsors, and that was always on the literature.
And it was
you know,
very
it
small,
was-
it's just
yeah,
one line at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Right, but that's like,
but
in
that's a
a
different, yeah.
thing, that's not like, I don't know,
Yeah.
plastered other places.
it's done, it doesn't matter.
It's a-
Yeah.
But
Pitch fast.
it's a valid point, it's something to think about, for future,
For future leadership of the Friends, yeah. We'll figure it out.
What else?
moving on. We're hopefully hasn't started yet, speaking of Friends, another book bin up at this one's gonna be at the RTF, which I think will be extremely popular, and, as you know, the Friends all get
Yeah.
a portion of that. That was Megan, when she hired the new, operations manager up there, mentioned that, do you have a book bin? He said, I would love to have one, so I put him in touch with
I thought
Larry.
there was one there and
There
it went
was one
somewhere else,
before, I don't know if it was during the fire, if it got moved out,
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but there was
but
one, I
that's
know.
awesome that.
So,
that they
yeah,
can
so
step in
I
and do
think
that.
end of October, Larry, I think, has to get the bin with the logo on it and that sort of thing, and they were gonna work out when they were gonna have it start, so. I believe that's gonna end up bringing in a lot more money, for.
Yeah, that's so convenient, there's so many people.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of work for whoever has to manage that, but the friends seem very excited about it, so. That's great news. More money for whatever we.
Might be harder to weed through to get things for the
Mm.
community room.
Yeah, even they may get a lot of junk things, I don't know.
And garbage.
Well, it just will be,
Cans.
Be, yeah.
then it'll just be more heavily trafficked.
Right.
And therefore it will have to be.
You have to go more often,
monitored
that's
more
what I mean, it's
often
gonna
to
be a
find the
lot
good
of
stuff,
I think
yeah.
it will be a lot of work for them, but. We may get less donations here with all the construction
Yeah.
going on, so I think it'd be great to have a third location, so. And then as far as new initiatives, we are changing our operating system. Workflows is a really clunky system, and it's terrible for searches. If someone comes in and asks for something, you end up a lot of times having to go on Amazon and searching for the item. If they have the title slightly wrong, it doesn't bring it up. It's just not, it's a little bit embarrassing. And so this new system will have an app that can be used. It has offsite capabilities and better database and better searching, so I think it's gonna be great. And the cost is essentially very similar to what we already have.
Hmm.
Transitioning will be a lot of work, but that's not till the spring, so just to let you know that that's gonna be, it'll be a new look when you do end up accessing our database. And then I just going on to programming. I did a very brief summary. When I have time, I'm gonna do a deeper dive and can share with you our successes this year, but we had 758 total programs. Last year we had 601, so we really increased in all areas, and total attendance was 30,121. Last year was 27,500. I
Yeah,
believe you finished
1% increase, wow.
30,000 versus 20.
That's it.
The 10% increase
Yeah.
with programming increasing by how much?
I thought it was more like 20%.
Yeah.
20%,
Yeah.
20% increase in programming led to a 10% increase. in-
Susan.
Susan.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome.
And thank you.
Sharon had almost 4,000 attendees this
Wow.
summer for her program. July was an all-time record, and that was even with, I think, 2 or 3 programs that had to be canceled for heat or rain. So she's really killing it. Very impressive. And then, so I presented that to the Friends, and then they did approve our budget request, which is, for next year, only for 9 months, because we are in the process of switching their fiscal year to align with our fiscal year, so. We also presented some wish list items, and part of it was the story walk refurbishment, and they approved that, and they're gonna consider at their next meeting some of the other items, things like, the folding tables in the meeting room get a lot of use, and they're not great, and that's the kind of thing that doesn't really fall into a category that we get funding from the town. We could use our supplies budget, but if we replace 12 tables, that would really put a huge dent in our supplies budget, so we talked with them about maybe they replace a couple every year. They are exclusively used for programming, so it kind of aligns with their mission of supporting our programming, so. And then we were just talking, Brooke and I and Angela, about the beanies that Jen had requested, little hats that she could use as outreach giveaways and thing. And they may use that as a fundraiser and put their logo on it, and then give Jen some that she can use for her giveaway, so it wouldn't cut into our programming funds, so.
Sorry, so on a results perspective, 25% increase in programming with a 9% increase in attendance.
Mhm.
The question then is the juice worth the squeeze?
Well, I think you'd have to do a deeper dive into,
Resourcing,
where was what
resourcing.
types of
Number of hours,
programs, were
number-
there more, how much work did it take, what went down?
So we can look at that next month.
Well,
Right.
let's get to the wedding.
Yeah.
But like, this is a topic that I just don't want it to go away, because it's a budget topic, right? And it's an engagement
Right.
topic.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I just wanna know more about it.
Mhm.
So if we can,
Is a tricky thing,
but it's quantifiable and
yes, but, for example, so, Allison has run, gaming nights and, mini golf and things like that, and she's finding there's certain times if you run a night like that, you don't get many signups, maybe, 15 or so. She's running one, is it next week? It's coming up soon. They've had so many people sign up, they've had to add on more things for the kids to do so that they're not standing around and waiting, so they're adding a whole gaming component to it, so. It's learning about what's the right timing, not just what's the right program. It's what's the right timing, what's the, who do you market it to, she's found that if she opens it up to a grade or two younger, there's a lot more kids that wanna do it. Once kids reach a certain age, coming to the library maybe isn't their favorite thing. So it's a learning curve too, so, I always want them to try a program that sounds interesting and that they think people will be engaged with. Sometimes it takes time to build an audience for that. There's just a lot of factors.
I get it, I know, I'm not
And
challenging the
I'm
overall.
the numbers, I just don't know if that will tell the whole story.
I think the learnings and so there's quantitative data and there's qualitative data, right? And
Mhm.
so I would assume that the learnings would be able to come out of it. So all I'm asking for is a postmortem on this. I just want to understand a little bit more on this, because I think it's relevant. It's how we're going to grow the audience. And I think growth is good, but the numbers just seem to be off a little bit to me. So that's all I'm saying.
Like, it feels positive to me, is it?
25%. If there, again, without numbers sitting in front of me, it's a 25% increase in activity
Since last year.
since last year with a 9% increase in engagement. So you're over.
And how are you defining engagement?
How are
Attendance.
Just attendance.
Or, I mean, those are the numbers that are being given right now. It's just at the highest level, right? We saw an increase in number of events, and here's the number of people that engage with it. That's all I've been given.
Mhm.
So that's all I'm doing my top level on 25% increase, 9% increase in activity and engagement.
Yeah.
So all I wanna know is what's next? What are the next 5
Yeah,
years?
I think, there's some things that can skew the numbers as well, though, if you have, you know, a Books in Bloom event, or you have the tiny art show. There's some things that we don't do every year that will be extremely well attended. And that's, you know, gonna throw off when you compare.
But that goes the other
That
direction.
goes the other direction, because you're gonna be, then you're saying that 9% actually, the 9% increase was driven, you know, is driven by one or two events, that's all I'm trying to get
But
into.
there's also some events like, you know, the time there, but I forgot what you call
Tiny
it,
art
the-
show.
yeah, we don't really count attendance for those, do we? I mean, how do we measure attendance
How
for
many
those?
took-
It looks
How
like
many
they're
took the,
took
you know,
the frames,
the frame,
okay.
and, you know, that side kind of, but you,
But that's
it's
what-
very hard to quantify
My
how
point of
many
that is that
actually
that's
participate.
qualitative, right? Well, all of a sudden, we couldn't have been happier, at least for me, I thought it was a brilliant event,
Right.
the time, that tiny art show was awesome, right? I think there's a lot of really good things that are great, and all I need to know is like, there's gonna be quantitative data and qualitative data, and I just wanna see some data, that's all I'm saying, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not being argumentative, besides the fact that I love the fact that we're moving in the right direction, it's
Right.
growth. But
Right,
is it responsible growth? Is there opportunity? Again, I know that nobody wants to talk about it, but is there opportunity to create a bigger spectacle? Is there opportunity to create sponsorship? Is there opportunity for the friends to think about how they can raise money? Like if it were me, you know, the fact that I would be sending out if I were the friends right now, I'd be sending out an email this week saying, pardon our dust. Because we're doing all these 5 or 6 things, and aren't we, you know, isn't the library great? Oh, by the way, don't forget to donate, like, I mean, but it's just communication, and it's about thinking about how we can monetize it and grow the entire experience. That's why I'm this way, it's like, I'm just asking, because I figured there's tons of opportunity, and we're watching the pitch pass.
Watching the what?
Did it pass?
Pitch
Yeah.
pass.
The,
Did feel a little.
the bat's sitting on our shoulder.
Yeah, I got you.
And I want to be able to drive more of this, so I'm gonna help, and even if I have to help with the friends, I will do so
With a smile.
with a smile.
Oh,
okay, well, I still think in a town of 8,000, 30,000 people coming into our library is a pretty good number, so that was, way I looked at it, but. I will certainly, work to have those for next meeting. And I already talked about the friends, and then our summer reading with the attendees, you know, is always a big draw. To have them turn in their reading logs. And Sharon partnered with Heifer International this year, and she's going to do, they're gonna donate either, I think it's a pig or a goat, and they're gonna have kids can vote on, do they want us to give a pig or a goat? Yeah, so it's really fun. I'm still working my way through the financial report for state aid. I believe the funding will stay steady. I'm certain it will not go up, but, that's about 20,000, a little more than $20,000 a year, so we really do wanna, get the forms in on time and keep an eye out for the award of the funding. And then I just am throwing this out as something that, I've been told is could potentially be a capital budget request. We still are chronically short in study room space. And, Jen had done some research about, there's things that are called pods, they're like they're used in libraries primarily. They're sort of individual or two-person study spaces that are kind of self-contained. And we were thinking maybe we could use that front area that we had talked about with the building committee. And see if it could be just, rather than having facilities or hiring someone to construct a whole study space for two people, that maybe we can buy one of these units, and they come with, they have air, circulating air, they have lights, they have charging stations, and it would be another place that could be reserved for tutoring or for studying.
How big is it? Like,
Well, you can get single ones. I would prefer to get a two-person one, and it's big enough for a table and two people to sit and work at the table. That area in the front is not used at all. It's dead space. It does have a seat, but sometimes people are in there making phone calls, but that's really all.
Do you have
it's used for.
pictures of what they look like?
I don't,
Next
I don't
time.
right here, but I can get some, yeah, but
I'm
I've got.
picturing a giant porta potty.
No, they're glass,
glass.
they're glass, and each different ones, some are rounded corners, some you can get maybe wood, little, embellishments, you know, they're all different kinds, very modern looking or more, suited to
Mhm.
whatever space you want it to be, and you can customize them. And a lot of libraries use them, they're very, very popular, and they do have them as, you can reserve them. So
But they're
quite-
usually in a big room.
They're usually
and it's
more like, or,
compartmentalizing.
yeah,
a room.
or against a
Uh,
wall, originally had thought
I love
about
the
maybe.
idea, it's good creative thinking, I'm just wondering, like, about
Yeah,
fit and.
yeah, I'd have to
and
circle
safety.
back with Nick about how to make that work and the sizing and all of that. Maybe some of there is a bench that would probably have to come out
Mhm.
and then.
There's a couple of.
Yeah, there's
columns
some
that
weird
come out
cuts,
too.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it would be was just something I was thinking
Yeah.
about as maybe a quick solution, especially if I could get capital budget to pay for it, I think it would solve a couple of problems,
Do we have just
luck
a
with that.
ballpark figure? What
Well, the
they
single
want,
ones I
depending
think
on
are
what
about
you do?
7 or 8,000, the bigger, larger ones are closer to 15,000. So, and that would definitely fall in capital budget pricing.
A lot less than renovation.
But a lot less in renovation, probably faster, you have to get it done, and they look kind of cool, and I think it would be a good solution. But a lot of things have to fall into place before that, but I just wanted to throw that out and get your opinions on it, if you thought it was something worth pursuing, I'm happy to get more. information.
I think it's a long shot with capital budget, but another place to think about doing something like that is, in that little corner before the periodicals room.
That was my, originally when I first started thinking about it, I thought, the only
Jen's
thing
desk.
is I really do like the seating there.
Yeah, and people do use it,
sit there.
But I think that
But yeah, that was another.
there are
option, was
other
that-
options if,
Yes,
if
yeah,
we did have
Um,
another space there.
yeah,
Just a
yeah,
thought.
because it's finding spaces that people can talk or have a meeting that's not out in the main area. I
Mhm.
think that it's disruptive to other people to have someone have a Zoom meeting going on. And even the tutoring, they do tutor out at the tables. They try to be quiet, but it's still a little bit disruptive. So private space is really in demand, and just trying to find some ways to, alleviate that. So, okay, well, I'll get more information.
Disruptive, the tutoring,
I'm sorry?
the tutoring is disruptive?
I wouldn't say it's disruptive, but if you're trying to read and someone is at one of the tables and they're working together.
Out here in the, not in
Yeah.
the quiet part, right, we're out here in the main area.
No, in the main area, you can hear them.
Well,
working.
they also tutor in the stacks there in the back,
stacks,
and
yeah,
if you're reading
There's
a
only one
book.
quiet part of the library now, right, isn't that the back corner?
yes,
I guess it's. It just, I thought we were moving towards a more active, lively library, as opposed to being concerned about whether we're, being quiet for people to read.
well, we're trying to serve everyone. There's some people that, are distracted by someone sitting a few feet away and tutoring. And if a person is on a phone call or has a work meeting, they really can't do it very well out in the main area.
Well, I think
The way
that's
this
all-
Privacy issues too, like
Yeah.
if you're trying to take a work Zoom or you're
Yeah.
having a tutor, there are sometimes when you would rather be behind a closed door.
I 100% agree with that, I just, the tutoring thing seems to be like, that can be happening anywhere.
Yeah, no, that-
Meetings or community
Sounds
things.
like-
I
Yeah.
think if we put a pod in there, it just means we're gonna have an extra tutor. It's not gonna change the dynamic of the room. The room is still gonna be lively, but there will be times when there are three people who, who wanna have a conversation or a Zoom call or something, and if we have 3 spaces, then that's great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're very popular.
But there
So-
still should be some quiet places in a library.
Mhm. Right.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I thought that ship sailed, I thought that was in the back
We
corner.
do have the back, and that is, people have been respecting that, and, we're actually, purchasing. A PC so that adults only can come in and work in that back room. We're gonna put it back there
Mhm.
because.
And are we gonna have controls on the websites that they can pull up?
There's, yeah, I know.
If you can hide in
Yeah.
the back corner of the library, you know what you're gonna
Yes,
get.
yeah, no, I know. It's just in the summer we have, and after school we have issues with kids. Coming in and gaming, and then there's adults trying to do, work emails or whatever it is, and we just thought it'd be nice to have an area that would be adults only.
We will just have
Okay.
a sign
That's
that
all you have
says
to
this is, monitored or whatever at the end of the day, or,
Right.
it's in our policy section. We'll just put up a sign.
Reminder.
But sorry, just now that I'm hung up on this whole I get the Zoom thing and the cell phone thing, but the policy does say that cell phone and Zoom usage is behind closed doors only, right? Like, it's not in general population.
But you'd be amazed how many people take Zoom calls in the
Oh, yeah.
middle of the
yeah.
reference area.
all the
time.
All the time.
Really?
Yes.
Or,
I like
I've been like, I don't know what meeting I'm on,
Yeah.
but.
Without a headset in?
No.
Yeah.
Or they're on speakerphone, you
Yeah.
can hear every conversation.
Everywhere you go,
Actually, yeah.
everywhere,
Usually.
not just libraries.
If I notice it, I usually ask them to turn it off. There was a woman for quite a while who had been coming in and was working on one of the computers, and she had her speakerphone going, and I don't know how many times I had to ask her to stop, and she usually would, but. Exactly, so,
Welcome to the world.
No, I mean, I work for the workstation, and if someone's on a speakerphone and I'm in my office and I can hear like over the wall, there's no ceilings. But if I can hear them, I'll knock on their window, on their office and say, what are you doing? Like, pick up the phone and like, talk, there's no reason to be on a.
It's amazing how many people think that the
Yeah.
world needs to hear their conversations.
Yeah.
They're in the airport,
Yeah, I was gonna
And-
That's crazy.
I just chimed in.
we had.
I would have done.
That's funny. And then we're back on our Sunday hours. Last Sunday was our first, opening, and then, we do have 2 new staff members, Patty and Rebecca, and I'm gonna try to make,
Is one of them out there tonight?
Yes, Rebecca,
Rebecca,
that's why I was like,
yes.
Sharon was like, have you met Carolyn?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Before you close the meeting, could you just review something for me?
Absolutely.
We're not close to closing yet.
But
We have to
yeah.
do bills and everything.
Oh, before you close the director's report. okay. The 2 nooks, the reading nooks?
Yes, that we were just talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
For
outdoor.
outside, reading, the outside.
yeah.
Oh,
outdoor
yeah,
ones,
yeah.
Who's in charge of that?
Cassandra Thayer of the planning office.
So that's a town thing.
She applied for the grant and then got the
Okay.
grant and then reached out to us and said.
That's
"Would
right,
you
I
like to
needed
have
the
it here?"
review of
So
the source
she's
of the money.
managing, the posting of the contact.
So the library has nothing to do with it.
Not really, well, we will be part of the decision making.
We get to approve its location.
Exactly.
What
and-
about
and what it
approving
is,
what about
and what it
approving
is.
the designers?
We will be, they're gonna submit their suggestions or what they would like, and we're gonna review those with the planning office, and she was gonna.
Will that
have-
come before the trustees?
I'm sure it would, yeah, yes.
With all of the designers or just?
I think, I don't even know how many she's had, submit, but she did also want to have, maybe someone from the South Shore Art Center, someone with art credentials who could be part of that process as well, and
Okay.
making the
Okay,
decision. So
yeah. I do
nothing
remember
would be, no, it's not, you're not gonna just come up someday and there'll be an art
Well,
installation.
now,
Someone with her
the
painting.
responsibility,
Yeah.
also the responsibility of choosing it, I think, is, we have to
Yes,
take
and
very
that's my
seriously.
understanding is that, when we agreed to be part of it, that we would have
Yeah.
to say.
And why are they only temporary? I mean, the grant is for what,
It's
$12,000?
$12,000, yeah, that's the way it was written. I don't know if that was part of the grant that she applied for. There were supposed to be temporary,
Couldn't we
items.
do something more permanent for 12,000?
Let's make sure we like it before. we
Yeah,
have permanent.
No, but
I mean,
if we did like.
We don't have to pay for it. It's a grant from a
I know,
cultural
I know,
organization.
we can still utilize
I
it.
guess
It's out, it can be ours, it's on our
No, so
property.
artists are
But maybe
submitting
it's probably
proposals.
just a way
We
of
haven't seen
rewarding
any yet.
artists and giving them an
Last week.
opportunity for
Last
PR.
Sometimes I've heard of, a group purchasing something that was supposed to be
Yeah.
temporary. You know, that could happen if we absolutely loved it and it was getting a lot of use.
Now,
Maybe
there's a
that's something we
sponsor
looked into.
Yeah.
I
Opportunity.
don't know.
The grant
they
making
put-
organization
put
is
this in your
probably
cap
trying to
and do
provide an
something about it.
opportunity for an
And do
artist
some thought.
to
No,
showcase
it's
some
fine.
of her work.
Yeah, I think it's.
You get paid to create it, and then they get to own it and sell it if they
And
can.
do
or
whatever they
but
want.
That's why.
Yeah,
it's
that's,
necessary.
I think that's,
Installation.
you're right, exactly right.
Big outdoor installations are probably more than $12,000.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, I would, I don't know anything about the cost, but just given what this costs, I think it's.
And
probably
it's going
a
out
fair
front.
guess. Yeah, it's gonna go out front.
Mm.
Maybe.
Nice.
More clutter.
Yeah, that's the other thing, I mean, when you mentioned the clutter of the, yeah.
Well, we'll see, maybe, I don't know, I haven't heard anything yet about, how many people have expressed interest, so. We'll see, we'll see.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
Hopefully there'll be some creative and, interesting, artwork will be presented.
That's all, that
Yeah.
was my only
Yeah,
question.
okay, that's a good question, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry, just one last thing about, we got a call from Jen Dial today, who is, have you heard of this new podcast on Tuesdays? It's called The Spot, the Cohasset Spot. So, they're featuring on this next episode, they're gonna feature the fact that the pavilions. Construction's has started, do we, and now that we're thinking about all the things that are happening, do we want her to talk about? We can shape the story, she's asked me what, she asked me for a quote, and so I was like, why don't we shape, I don't even know the details. So we can shape the story however we want, so I kind of think, and again, I don't wanna go back to the part of my desk thing, but. It's the kids' room is gonna be closed, whatever it might be, so. Let me know what you wanna say, but I need to give her a quote probably or give her a quote, not a statement.
I mean, I think-
Good things come to those who wait.
You're the man with the metaphors here. Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feels like there's an opportunity to talk about the things that are happening, and so it was. When I first walked into the room, I thought that's all that was happening, but now that we've got all these other things, and then we need to communicate.
Yeah, I
The-
think the message is.
The whole
that, you know,
podcast is gonna
library
be
is
about
really-
the pavilion?
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be, so the podcast is 5 or 6 minutes long, it's
Oh.
about what's happening
Yeah.
in
Just
Cohasset.
little short
And so it'll be
segments
these
of
little short
different-
segments, and so one of the segments, which we'll probably get 25 seconds of, I have no
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
would be about.
So
the
what
library.
isn't happening at the library?
Right.
It's this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this, and
yeah.
this, and
So,
this, and it's just, everyone's excited.
So why don't I do this, just to make it easier, I'll draft something up based on what I heard from this meeting, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I think the
for your-
messaging is, there's a lot of excitement going on here.
Yeah.
We're, improving for all different, constituents.
Yeah. And then, so I'll take it from your notes, and then I'll run it by you. You tell me, if I'm missing anything.
Okay.
Then I feel like we should probably give a nod to the fact that this, kids' room is gonna be closed for
Yeah,
a couple of
absolutely.
weeks, and then look onto our website for more information.
There's, I don't know if the children's room is on there yet. I know that the construction is on there because we want to have people who park down there walk up here. So that's our.
And it'll be
messaging
on the
is that
website?
It is on the website now, and
Okay.
I think Ashley tomorrow is gonna put something about the children's room on the website, so.
Okay, cool, and
Um,
so that's good.
yeah.
And then the only other thing that as I was reading the notes from last meeting, which I didn't attend. Catherine was talking about the, bringing conversations into the library and moving.
Oh,
stuff.
right.
Yeah,
Which I think is terrific. And so I don't know where the progress has been made on this, but Jen Dial being a news producer and a kind of I just thought if as an advisor or something, if she wants to
Yeah.
like, how do you
Like,
moderate
put Catherine in touch with Jen.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
I
that-
think
that's
Catherine is-
Catherine's.
Yeah,
project?
Yeah.
Project, good, okay, so I will
Yeah.
suggest that there, again, it's more of an advisor, how do you moderate one of these things, or
Mhm.
what, you know, how do you
Right.
publicize them, she might be helpful on
Yeah,
that.
it's
Well,
a great
we
idea if somebody can get in there and
Yeah,
shape it.
we just don't know what to do.
Right,
Yeah,
we initially
something we
talked about it and said we
Steve-
would
it was-
revisit.
It was, yeah, Steve's bugaboo for a
For-
decade or so.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I think it's really
Either
good.
way.
And I think that it occurred to me as I was listening to the spot, going, oh, this is like a place where she's actually trying to bring what's happening and bring awareness. But and not necessarily discourse, but there could be something where she could be helpful from that perspective, and it might help her promote her podcast. I don't know, we'll see.
And I think the thinking of the spot was like, we don't have the mariner anymore, you know, the anchor and
Right.
scroll is kind of filling in around the edges, and this is a way, like, if you're driving your kids to school or dropping them off, you can quickly get current events. So.
I like it.
Maybe you could send out a link to it if you guys wanna listen, it's good,
Yeah.
Katie
Quick.
Holden's big behind it, yeah.
Katie Holden.
Katie Holden,
Oh,
yeah, she's
yeah.
everywhere. Like,
She's
there.
everywhere, that one.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
She's
Katie
like-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jen, that's everywhere too, so that's
Something
something.
we let her know.
Okay.
If you'd met her, you'd never forget it.
Jen or Katie?
Katie Holden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So financial report, I'm sort of blanking, but I'm just gonna send these around, do we have to approve them?
Yeah, we have to approve them first, then we can send them.
Okay, what do I wanna say again?
You want Angela to explain?
Okay.
Yeah, so actually, I was just gonna
Thank you.
point out, like,
Thank
if
you.
you guys want me to explain any part of this, I can even do like a quick summary, like. I don't know if like sometimes you have questions on what these companies are, what they're actually selling us. Just in general, or if you guys are like completely good. I don't wanna like bother you with more information, but I know that there were some questions
Questions from me
before.
asking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, I'm looking at it to approve it, but I actually don't know, like, the history if something was off, but.
Right,
so
right,
I always
when
trust them,
general-
and I know you're both looking at them, so.
Yeah, but just in
Sure.
case you wanted to know, so like, if, you know, this one, the summary is probably the best thing to go by, but if you wanna know the nitty gritty of like. What the actual, you know, item might have been, it, you know, sometimes I'll stick in there, you know, rubber bands or, you know, stuff that we needed, but, Baker and Taylor and Ingram are book companies, so we get a lot of books from them. Amazon is gonna be, books that we couldn't find from those companies or library of things stuff, so, you know, cameras or, you know, anything we got for library things. Midwest Tape is like DVDs, audiobook, like that kind of stuff. Overdrive is the online version, so the downloadables. Revistas is the company that, one of the companies of two that we get our magazine subscriptions from. On here, there was capital budget, so that was the staff computers. We do not have all the invoices from those yet, so we have all the computers. We have the computer for the periodical room. We have the command center monitor came in, even though we don't have command center yet. But we do not have the screens. They haven't sent any of the screens, so we haven't paid all of that money so far for capital budget. The gifts, so that's basically museum passes will be under that usually because the Friends reimburse us for that, so that's why we pump that money out of the gifts account. Library programs is just our passport stuff, so that's money spent, money for mailings. Supplies, that's like the regular stuff, W.E. Mason, Amazon. Barking Dog interpretive design was actually Sharon's acrylic things for the story walk.
Oh.
So I had gotten the first round of those before Friends approved it. Just because the top ones were already cracked and crumbled and we wanted to make sure we at least had those. So we got the first order in. And what else? Anything? Oh, marketing on the September one, that would be the newsletter. The fall newsletter that was the $2,000, and that's it. The Primo Brands is just where we get our spring water.
Or not.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the
delivered in the work.
computers, that's really good news, when are those gonna be up and running, are they? They're-
Well, we're still waiting for the screens.
Screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so once the screens come in, are there any gaps in IT that you're concerned about or that are, it feels like this is the big win and this is
This
awesome.
is the big win,
but is
yeah.
there-
I
is
mean,
there
there's small things, so, now that Jen's been, promoted to assistant director. I need to move her desk and get another desk for when we are able to hire an adult services, replacement for her. So that will be a computer short. And she will need to access the financial software, which to do that, you have to be on the town network. So she actually may need two computers, and I'm working with IT on, they traditionally have paid for the one that is on the town network. So I'm working with them to get her a laptop that she can get onto SoftWrite and things like that. Bigger picture things, I think we need to really look into our AV system. I'm trying to think how old it is now, 15 years maybe. It's pretty old.
What's the AV system?
In the meeting room,
Mhm.
the projector, the DVD player, the. whole
That's the
system.
original, right?
And the reason to start looking into it now is because it took us about 3 or 4 or 5 years of begging
Exactly.
for it to actually
Mhm.
get it replaced when it was
Exactly.
falling apart and not
Yeah.
working 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
So for
So we
example,
start
the other
talking about
day,
it now.
Kevin was over, who's the communications assistant, because they were gonna do a townwide RTF discussion here. And he says, does your screen have a poly something? Do you remember what he called it?
Oh, yeah, no, we had never
And
even
we're
heard
like,
of
we
it.
don't even
Yeah.
know what that is, and Elder Affairs has it, it's apparently like a kind of a camera that is part of the screen.
It's like an
So-
owlish, but.
It's, he said that you
harder.
could use the owl, but it's simpler, I guess, apparently, with this system, and so. It kind of highlighted to us that, you know, if the senior center has something, we should probably have it as well. But I think I'd have to have somebody come in and give us an evaluation of what sorts of things, we might need. This, it's certainly not my expertise, AV equipment, but.
And so that they're also finally compatible with Apple and PCs,
Right,
because
Right, and I know
depending on when a
the,
speaker comes in and has
Yeah,
one or the
yeah.
other, I remember.
yeah, and the projector up
Gail had
top,
to
I
do
know
all
I
sorts
had to
of
buy, the
conversions.
bulbs are discontinued, so I got them. An off-brand, I ended up buying a few, just cause I felt like we might not, you know, be able to. Get a bulb, you really need the bulb, so, I think that's something that we need to, you know, look into seriously. And I think it might give us more opportunities to. You know, run different kind of programming or use the room in different ways, so, that's on my radar.
And that's it.
maybe Apple would like to sponsor our AV equipment.
Well, that, I can tell you that like, as you were talking, I was like, wow, that sounds archaic. But yeah, I mean, it feels like it needs to be.
It's, you know,
Just needs to be brought up.
technology, is constantly changing.
Yeah, and I think your argument about, well, I don't even know what the last argument was for all these laptops, but whatever that was, it should just continue onto this because it's
Right.
an
Well,
extension. It's a programming,
the
it's-
staff computers can't, support Windows 11.
Yeah. And this
which
probably
is
doesn't.
now discontinued.
No, that's why we have new ones.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
But that was the argument
They're
for
being-
But that's what it took to get.
facilitating
Okay.
them, like,
Yeah.
That's what it took.
So-
Although I
wait
will
long enough-
say, when I went to capital
criminal.
budget, they were super supportive of the request, but they also said, let's, you know, not let this kind of thing happen in the future, let's be more proactive.
Well, so then that's what we said.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
say, that's what we're saying about the meeting room. We are
Right.
taking your advice and
Exactly,
being,
and it's been on the, so when you do capital budget requests, you also have to do, you know, looking out, projecting into the future. What kinds of things do you see coming up that you're gonna need, and that has been on there.
You have to give them the opportunity to say, no, we can't do it this year, and then you go back
And then you
again.
go back,
And then you
yes,
go back and then you go and you
Yes.
say,
yeah,
it's not
It's
working, now you
right.
have to approve
Right.
it, and they do
it's
it.
all, you know.
We've
they-
been asking.
Yeah, they have a certain amount of money, it all
Yeah.
has to be divided, but I think you know,
Right.
if you don't get it the first year, at least you can say, we've asked
When-
for a couple of years now, let's
Yeah.
get ourselves on that
Yeah.
list, so. It's a little bit political, but,
So
I
big
think they
picture,
generally are supportive of it.
so big picture, the gap has narrowed considerably versus where we were in this room 12 months ago, which is awesome, right?
Yes,
And
we've
so-
gotten all new patron computers and all new now, once they get installed, staff computers, so that is.
You get security cameras,
And they're
Wi-Fi
getting-
improved.
They have been installing new access points, so. I don't know if yours has improved yet.
I
I
don't
don't
have
know.
Wi-Fi. at
Her
my desk.
area is this little dead zone.
It doesn't
It's
make
crazy,
any
yeah.
sense, it's just at my desk, and
Yeah,
it made it hard, so for my two-factor, it doesn't work,
Authentication,
'cause then I
yeah.
have to use my own phone.
Yeah,
Another
it's a
issue.
whole- yeah.
But
but
yeah.
they are
like,
aware of it and they are working on trying to fix it. There
Yeah.
was a problem, they couldn't find some of the access points. I don't even think, one they still haven't found.
Right,
I don't think
correct.
they've ever, I don't know what's going on with that, but IT is.
Well, they're working
Some
on
of
it.
those, like the Eros Tower things that you can, for $125.
Seems so easy, but
You
but
know,
it's not.
sometimes in those difficult locations.
in the
they
dead
do
zones.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Okay.
turn off my Wi-Fi, use my own data.
Yeah.
So-
My house.
We did, I did also talk to them about extending the Wi-Fi out when the pavilion is done, because I'm
Yes.
envisioning people are gonna wanna sit out there and work,
Yeah.
and so they said.
Mhm.
Kyle from IT said he's their Wi-Fi guy, he may need to add another access point, because I think the closest one is over near the periodicals room,
Mhm.
and so it might not reach that far, so. That is also on their radar, and they felt like they could. It wouldn't be a difficult thing to fix.
Sorry, because I'm thinking just like. I was thinking the same way, like it feels like, is an access point like an extender? Is it a hard, is it a Wi-Fi? Is it just,
Define access point?
yeah, define
I
access
mean,
point, like, I don't
Yeah.
my
even.
understanding is you come in, your phone attaches, or if it's whatever device you have, attaches to the closest access point that it finds.
But what
Yes.
is it, what is it physically?
It's about a square about this big, and it's up on the ceiling.
Oh, those are the hardwired ones that
The
are.
mesh,
that-
it's a mesh system, right?
See, this now, you're
I-
above my pay
I
grade. You're so
don't
smart.
know. I do know that the previous access points we had, what would happen is if your phone attached to the one by my office and then I walked out here, it would continue to stay attached to this one. So that the signal would diminish
Mhm.
substantially,
Mhm.
so that you could say, we have terrible Wi-Fi here. The new ones is supposed to make you jump.
The mesh,
Yeah.
Is that the mesh?
Yeah.
yes.
The new ones are mesh.
And we all just.
They
merged
mesh,
it.
yes.
They
Yeah.
meshed together.
Yeah.
So they're just, so they're.
Yeah, it's going to be an improvement, at least that's what I've been told.
And they're putting an extra one in.
And they're putting
and
an extra
one
one,
for
and then they
the
will.
pavilion.
when
They just
when-
connect
Of your head.
Yeah.
That's what I asked,
That's
I was like, right
Right up
there,
there.
I'm like, that's where you put it, and it was like.
Because I'm right next to her and I never have a problem.
Actually, if I walk away from my desk and go towards the printer, it's fine, but if I go and sit at my desk where my computer is, it doesn't work.
My understanding how it works, they measure the signal strength of the nearest sources
Yes.
and they move your connection to the strongest signal.
That makes sense.
I mean, I'm hopeful
Okay.
because it's bothered me so much that, as a library, we should have, good technology.
Good technology.
And I feel like that's been.
Thank you for pushing the technology.
I just wanna make sure that's, of the things you talked about, sorry, I didn't mean to ignore the rubber bands or whatever else you had in there, but it was the topic that I was.
No worries, just, no worries.
Do we have any other questions about the bills or? Okay.
That was helpful to have.
It was,
Overview.
yes.
Thank you.
Just in general, I think.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Okay, so approved.
no.
Okay,
We have to do the one person by person with the
Yeah.
bills.
okay, Elaine Breslin.
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Carolyn Coffey.
Aye.
Brooke Jewel, aye. I'm sorry, we were.
Sue.
Aye. I was wondering how to say your last name before you came here, so. Alex, Viteri, Mary Lou Lawrence. Okay, so approved.
Yes.
Is that right?
Motion carried.
Right, Alex.
Motion approved unanimously. Nothing further to send. Thank you.
Do we need to do a separate
one for the, For the
Yeah.
August, or is the August the email?
Oh, yeah, it should be, yeah, so there.
We just need to sign them both. Here,
Yeah.
let's just keep them together.
Okay.
Sorry. Um,
So shall I move on?
Yeah.
We're signing, okay, so. Chair's report, Catherine didn't have anything to bring to me. CLT report, we have a meeting coming up.
and I have something.
Okay,
Just related,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get the recognition board started for the pavilion project.
oh, good.
And, I talked to Dave Hassan multiple times and then he was kind of quiet this summer. And I was
He's
like,
retiring.
He's retired.
I know,
Who is that? Sorry, I don't know.
oh, it's Hassan Sign Company.
Oh, sign.
And so he did, I'm like, okay, if you don't wanna do this, just tell me so I can get someone else to do it. And he did finally fess up. He's like, I'm done. And, so I have reached out to Signworks
that, yeah.
and, which did the original, signage when we moved into this building and also did the, library endowment boards that are in the foyer, cause I figured they can match it, but, they're in Watertown and they don't like sending someone down here and you have to pay for them to send someone down here. So I'm sending them lots of pictures. And, they do have a guy who had the house in Centerville, so I think it might take a while. They'll just like get him to come through when he's going back and forth, but it's in process.
Great, okay.
We have about 23 names, I think, to put on it.
David's
So-
retiring?
Yeah,
Passing, yeah.
A big problem.
What is
I-
the problem?
Yeah.
I haven't fixed the gold on my sign, my number sign.
I think that's to fix the gold in my stern of my boat.
He said that he would be really interested in projects.
He's doing the Holly Hill recognition, boards.
And I'm trying to get him to do the sign for the Pratt building for the historical.
That was good.
You gotta make it compelling.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
CLT's meeting on September 30th, I just figured that out today. Alex, you're gonna be part of the CLT, is that the rumor?
Yeah, but it's-
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
And so,
They don't know what they're in for.
I know. You go get him, boy, you go get him.
You're gonna regret it, right?
He's the guy with the bell. That's somebody that has to be asked again.
There's a group that needs taken up.
is that
Yeah,
the
us.
annual takeout will be determined, do you know?
That's it.
I think it's in November that.
Yeah,
that's
it's for
determined.
late.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was earlier, but okay, okay.
And Caitlin Appleton, that's also
Mhm.
part of that.
Yeah. Which is great.
So that will start up, and then I don't think the friends met over the summer, so we don't have
They,
any.
they just met last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was their
we
first
kind of-
meeting
but I feel
back,
like you talked about
yeah,
that.
Catherine did come to that one as well. And that was, it was kind of a short meeting because a few people had to leave, but, mostly it was budget discussions. I think they have about $83,000 in the bank, and they talked about, Meg Wheeler said in other nonprofits she works at, that they shouldn't have that much money, they should be more, looking at ways to spend it, to either fund things. So maybe do a big program or something. Yes, you wanna have a nest egg, but that's more than they need. So, and then they talked about they're gonna start their annual appeal again
Right,
next month.
we need to get out of here, Alex, so we can't, they're not allowed to talk.
I'm not gonna say.
I gotta eat my dinner. Anything is playing it?
I don't think
That's the way.
Motion to
That's good,
adjourn.
I like it.
Very nice. Motion to. All in favor? Hey.
Thanks, guys.
Great month.
Good night.